We're talking today with Geoff Selwood from the Rural Fire Service. Geoff, fire season coming up. What should we be thinking about?
We should be thinking about making sure that those grasses and all the fallen timber and everything around our houses and our sheds has been cleared away. Make sure our gutters are cleared out, and generally make sure everything that's fire prone is removed away from the house. And depending on the slope, depends on how far you've got to go out, but at least the bare minimum 20 metres. And that way you've got a chance of saving your house or your sheds, or both.
What about a fire plan? How important is it to develop a fire plan and develop it now?
It's a bit late developing it now. It should have been done back in the winter months. You need to ensure that the whole family is involved in developing the plan, not just the parents or whatever else. The children, especially if they come home from school in the afternoons, they may be there for an hour or so when mum and dad are out in the paddock or somewhere like that. They need to know what to do also. So it's the whole family that needs to do it, and it's better late than never. Do a plan now, and if you need assistance, give us a ring at any of the fire control centres in the state and we'll be able to help you.
Where do you find a fire plan?
You'll find a fire plan. The best place is either on the internet, you can get it off the RFS website or the Canobolas website, or go to the local fire control centres and get a copy of the plan, or you can actually do it yourself, and it's common sense. What are you going to do if a fire happens? What's your trigger points? Is it a certain time, or is it a certain level of fire danger, or is it when you see smoke, or what? And then it's a matter of knowing what to do. Have all your stuff prepared. That is, all your documents that you need, the marriage certificate, any other documents you need, photographs and that, have them in a box or something so you can put them in the back of the car and go. If you've got animals and you need to put them in the vehicle, get yourself a couple of containers so that you can put them in. You can get them at any of the pet shops. Make sure so you can put them in the back of the car or in the back seat and get out early. Don't leave it until the fire's coming up the road.
If you do see a fire, what should you then do?
You ring 000. I know there's an argument going on at the moment about 112 and all the rest of it. If it's a hard line, ring 000. If it's a mobile, ring 000. If you can't get through, you can always try a 112. But 000 is the emergency services number in Australia.
So then what do you do once you've alerted the Rural Fire Service, the New South Wales Fire Brigade or any other emergency service about the fire? What should you and your family do?
Keep the phone that you've phoned in on free of calls. Use another phone if you've got a mobile or whatever else, because we may need to call you to find out exactly where that fire is. Fires usually take about, if it's a bushfire, 30 to 45 minutes before you see the smoke. So at that stage they're starting to move along quite well. If it's before that and you've seen it or you know where it is, it's a lightning strike or something, we may not be able to see it from a main road. Number one. Number two, get yourself ready. If you're going to stay and defend your property and you want the rest of the family to leave or something like that, get them going straight away. Don't wait around and think, oh well, we'll wait until the fire's coming in the back fence, because it may be, you may think it's only 20 minutes, half an hour away. It could be 20 or 30 seconds away if it's a good wind behind it.
If you're staying in your home, do you then seek shelter in the home when the fire is passing? What process do you go through then?
What you need to do is, and what we found out from Victoria experience, is one, if you've set up properly, you've got all your water and your pumps and your hoses and so forth, you have them all ready to go. If it's a pump, you make sure that it's in an enclosed area, because a lot of pumps today are made of plastic. The heat from the fire will melt the plastic and then the pump stops and you've got no water. The other thing to do is, and I know this may sound silly, get the big mobile garbage bin, tip it upside down, get rid of the rubbish out of it, fill it up with water, a couple of buckets, and it's quite standing how mobile they can be around the house, inside and outside the house, if you need to just put out a small tree that's smouldering or a windowsill or behind the door or something like that. Be ready. You're better off if you're going to stay and defend and have two people. Two sets of eyes are better than one. Usually we found in Victoria, if it's a major fire, you'll only be outside, whoever's doing the outside fighting, for probably a minute to 2 minutes at the most. And otherwise you'll end up with burnt lungs and so forth. So you make sure you're properly set up. But to do all this, you really need to be psychologically prepared for a fire. If you're not that and you've never seen a fire and you've never been involved in a fire, my suggestion is pack the car up and leave. Because when that fire's coming up the driveway to you, it's a completely different ballpark.
If you are looking at leaving, how important is it to leave early?
Major. Get out as soon as you can, because a lot of subdivisions and so forth that were done back in the 60s and 70s, you will find that the roadways come a one way in and one way out, and usually the one way out is straight back into the fire. So you need to leave, and leave very early. As soon as that smoke's seen, or if it's a catastrophic day, be very diligent in relation to what's happening through the day, and then if you need to, leave early. And when I say early, I'm talking about as soon as the smoke's seen or anything unusual is happening, get out. And go to a neighbourhood safer place, or friends or something like that, away from the fire.
Neighbourhood safer places, where are they located?
They're located everywhere in all villages in the state. You'll find their locations on the RFS website. It's a main one out of head office, or if it's a local area in the western area here, you'll find it on the Canobolas website.